Hi, dyslexic genius here. What we have to do with the Opera is we have to set the half nut to the lead screw, the thingy with all the threads. And this is the lead screw.
That was what you.
I just oiled this with super lube oil. I oiled the back rod and the rail over here.
When did you install the lead screw?
I installed the lead screw in 2 videos back.
Oh, that's part of that gear.
That's part of that gear. So we have this spring, and under these 2 screws we have a half nut. And back here, right here, we have an adjustment, and there's a screw here to set how far the half nut goes into the lead screw, this thing right here. So what you're going to do is first, we have it built so we can put it into play like this, and we can go like this, and look, it's moving. So when I move the gear, I can feel this, like, okay. So now what you do, the first thing you do, is you put it in play, and you loosen,
which is down,
and you loosen these 2 screws just a little bit. Okay, and that's going to let the half nut wiggle. So what we're going to do now, we'll pick it up, we'll put it back here, we'll put it into play, and we're going to let the half nut drive on the lead screw. And what's that doing? What's that doing is the half nut's loose, and it's aligning itself like this to the lead screw. And you'll feel this. So if you give it a spin, that's going great. Okay. So now what you do is you have to look under the casting here, where my screwdriver is. You have to get down and look up through the bed of the Opera to look at that half nut down in here. So you come down here and you look at the half nut, and it looks good. And what that means is the half nut's round like this, has threads in it. And we're making sure that the half nut is like this on the lead screw, and it's not like this or like this. It's sitting right like that, because we have this round piece. So we look at that, and we go, good, that's great. Now what you do is you take your left index finger and you push down on the spring, and you tighten up the half nut.
So the spring is on top of the half nut.
Yep. Now what you do is you've done that, you give it a spin. You see, I barely move. I'm using the bottom drive gear, not the governor drive gear. I'm using my thumb on it. You give it a flip, and you see how that goes. Okay, now, what's the problem is, you have to feel this. There's no way like an Edison or Home or Triumph where I said, okay, we're going to adjust your half nut. We're going to put a piece of paper on the rail, computer paper, and then we're going to bend the spring, or we're going to adjust it like on a Triumph on the top, and we're going to get that to connect where we want it. This thing, you can't do it, but it has this little thing back here. So you're going to undo this screw.
What is this little thing back here?
When you lift up, that screw right there hits the casting, and that stops it and puts it in position, the half nut in position to the lead screw. So now what we have to do is we have to fine tune the half nut using this screw and loosening this screw. So we'll loosen this screw. Now what you're going to do, you're going to come up, and you're going to screw this in one whole turn.
So you loosened one and tightened
the other. I push the screw, the adjustment screw here, which is here. I made it so it won't hit. So now you do this. Oh, you see this? Now it's too far away.
How do you know it's too far away?
Because I put it in play and I spin my gear and now it's not doing anything. The carriage is not moving. It's in the play position and it's not moving. You put it in neutral, it plays.
Oh, because now it looks like the half nut's not riding on the lead screw.
That's right. The half nut is not riding on the lead screw. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up here. This is when I wish I was an octopus. What you're going to do is you're going to spin it and unscrew it. Ah, you saw the carriage start? Okay, I'll do this again for my angel.
Okay, what am I supposed to be looking at?
Right here, my love. You can move around here, right here. So we know it's in the play position and we know it's not hitting the lead screw. So what you're going to do, with your left hand, you're going to turn the gears, see? And with this hand, you're going to back out that part. Now watch. Ah, you see it? There's a microsecond right there where it hit. And I'll do this one more time. So what you're doing is you're spinning.
With your left hand underneath.
I'm going to spin real fast and then I'm going to gently come in and boom. You see it move? It's pretty cool. And that's how you set the half nut to the lead screw on an opera. Now what you do is you come back and we spin again. And we're going to back this off. So we're going to, this is like a scope on a rifle. We're going to, got the slot in the screw. We're just going to go click 1. So we're going to go from noon to 1 o'clock, just a little bit. So you're going to come in here. And right about there. And we'll spin. So when I give it a twist on the gear here to move it, I give it one with a spin and it.
And the carriage moves.
The carriage moves and you go like this and it's tight. Everything's good. And this is the touchy-feely thing. And now we just come in here. And that's all there is to setting your half nut to the lead screw on an Edison Opera. When I first put everything in, it was a little tight. So this is the adjustment. But you got to make sure you've oiled the rail, you've oiled the lead screw, and you've oiled this back rod. Operas are very acceptable to oil because they have way more oiling places than everybody else. And that's my tip for the day.
And it's all Greek to me.